Good morning and good day. Today we're going to start off with just a little review as always, but today we're going to be talking about system malfunction. It is week 8 and I'm Colin Parks once again at Serenity House. So let's get started. Today we're going to be reviewing, right? We're reviewing our peer pressure refusal strategies, okay? Our first question is, what is a peer? Right? We went over this, and I think it's super important just to go over it again because sometimes we may forget some information, especially after a cat nap or just going to sleep in general. What is a peer? I ask. I'll give you about a couple seconds. Perfect. What is a peer? Someone your age. A peer is somebody that is your age, around your age, give or take a year. Are teachers, parents, or guardians your peers? I think that's a solid question. I don't think so. I know, or no, they are not. They are not your peers because simply they are quite a bit older than you. There's quite a big difference in age. Going on to our next point is our peer pressure refusal strategies. I wanted to go over those once again because it helps us to really think about what is going on and to know how to say no or to get out of an uncomfortable situation. And having those tools under our belt is very important. Our first refusal strategy is broken record. And I'll give you some examples as we go through these just quick and just to get your brain going. Broken record is saying something over and over and over again. If you've ever heard a record, maybe at your grandma's house, grandpa's, or anybody a little bit older than you, maybe older siblings, if you hear a record and it is scratched, it'll repeat itself, just like a CD would or even a record, right? Well, in person, what you can do, if you feel uncomfortable, you can repeat yourself. So if somebody asks you something, you say no. And then if they ask you, you say no again. And you stick to your guns until they get the message. Sound good? Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Walk away. This one's super simple. You don't even have to say anything. You just walk off. Our next refusal strategy is to ignore. And this one's quite as easy as walk away. You don't have to say anything. You don't even have to look at them. Just ignore what's going on. Focus on something else. If you have work in front of you, a class, or anything else, focus on what you can just to get out of the situation or never get in it in the first place. State the facts. We want to state the facts because we want to make our friends aware that maybe a potential risk is happening. By looking at the risk, we can state the facts and say, well, I don't want to get in trouble. This may hurt us. And knowing all of these things will help make a better decision. More information, the better decisions we make. Just say no. This one's super simple. Just like I said in broken record, you can repeat yourself with this one and kind of tie those together. If you add two refusal strategies together, it actually gives you more room to stand on, more ground to stand on, all right? You have more confidence and you know what to do. So you can add say no and broken record together. And by doing so, you can keep saying no, 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 I don't think so, I do not want that. Or you can simply just say no and leave it at that. Walk away, right? You can pair these together and it will help you get out of an uncomfortable situation. Our next one is make an excuse. I wanted to ask you, what is important about making an excuse? What was our disclaimer? A disclaimer, it just means a little message. What was my message last week with make an excuse? I'll give you just a few seconds to think about that. All right. If you make an excuse, our disclaimer was we want to be believable and truthful. We do not want to lie. I do not condone lying. And remember, as a healthy friendship quality, lying is not a good example. It's not actually on the list of healthy friendship qualities, and we don't want to be unhealthy at all. So make sure you're not lying if you're talking about making an excuse. If you use this peer pressure refusal strategy, make sure not to lie. I know I said it multiple times, but it is important. A better idea. A better idea is always fun. If somebody says a bad idea, that's okay. We all make mistakes. We talked about that last week, or a few weeks actually. But if somebody makes a mistake, we give a better idea so we know we can do this better. An example may be if you have a friend that says, well, let's go drink, and that's actually our topic today. Let's go drink. You could give a better idea. Well, let's go play some video games instead. And it's as simple as that. You don't have to You don't have to focus on it at all. You don't have to say anything else. By just saying a better idea, it'll get you out of the situation and hopefully give a positive action towards everyone involved. Our next refusal strategy is reverse the pressure. We want to put it back onto them. If somebody is pressuring us, we can put the pressure on them easily. You can say, I do not want to. If you were my friend, you would not be pressuring me. And by saying that, you let them know that you're actually feeling pressured, that you may actually feel hurt by the offer, or even that you just really don't want to and that you're serious. And it's important to show that you're serious when you're saying no and you don't want to do something. And last but not least, our last peer pressure refusal strategy is to steer clear. We do not want to get in the situation if we don't have to. So if you can steer clear of a situation, and like last week, we talked about our best friend. If we have the same class together and we always get in trouble for talking, then it may be easier to sit somewhere else, to go find a new friend, but also make sure that we're not talking, right? We don't want to create the same bad habits with one person and another person. So make sure we steer clear out of that situation. That is all the refusal strategies, and that is the review for today. So let's move on. Is everyone ready? Awesome. Today's first activity, I just wanted to ask, who can tell me what a drug is? That's a good question. I'll give everyone a couple seconds to think about that. What is a drug? Well, a drug is a substance put into the body that changes the way the body or the mind works. You may be thinking, a drug is something people take to make them feel better when they are sick, or an illegal substance people take to change how they feel. Exactly. You're thinking exactly along the right lines. The drug we will talk about today is illegal for people under the age of 21 to use. Who knows what that drug is? Alcohol. Alcohol use by anyone under age is harmful to the brain and body. There are 3 types of alcoholic beverages. 3 types. And the first one is beer, the second one is wine, and the third one is liquor. You may be familiar with some of these. Someone might pressure you to drink saying it's only beer, but alcohol is alcohol, and we want to stay away from all of it. All alcoholic beverages have the same effect on the brain and body. Someone might also say, have a drink with me. Everyone does it. Well, is that true? I don't think so. Not everybody does drink alcohol, so it's not true. Most people, including teenagers, do not drink alcohol. Most kids know underage drinking is against the law because the harmful effects of alcohol use can damage their ability to learn and to grow up healthy and strong. I want everyone to open your workbooks to page 23 to the section titled Functions of the Brain. Your brain works like a computer that controls the function of your body. The diagram in your workbook shows the basic functions each area of your brain controls. Now that we know that, I need volunteers to answer a question or to complete a task. The rest of you will identify the area of the brain used to complete the task. Be ready to explain your answer and use the brain diagram on page 23 to help you. Right now, your brain is growing and developing rapidly. It will continue to develop until you reach your mid-20s. It is your responsibility to take care of your brain so it can grow and function properly your whole life. Alcohol use can stop your brain from growing and developing into the healthy brain it should be. So it's very important to take care of yourself. I want to give a quick summary of all of the functions of the brain. So, listen, focus, and understand. The frontal lobe actually controls functions like decision making and judgment. So that's right here, the frontal lobe. Pretty easy to remember. In the middle, the temporal lobe actually controls speech and language. The hypothalamus controls heart rate. The hippocampus controls memory. The occipital lobe controls vision. The cerebellum controls balance and coordination. And the brainstem controls breathing. So they all have a hand, just like a computer would, to make your body function. Let's explore what alcohol use can do to the developing brain. Look at the next section in your workbook titled Effects of Alcohol Use. The column on the left lists the areas of the brain. The column on the right lists the effects of alcohol use on the areas of the brain. I want everyone to draw a line from each brain area to match it with the corresponding effect of alcohol use. The first one has been done for you. How does alcohol affect the hippocampus? The answer that is already connected is alcohol use can cause memory loss and affect a person's ability to learn. Great. Now complete the rest of the activity on your own. It's okay if you get answers wrong because I know you don't know this and we're learning. I want everyone to be prepared to share your answers. I will put about 4 minutes on the board to complete the activity. So go ahead and start. How does alcohol use affect the temporal lobe? Alcohol use can impair a person's ability to speak clearly, causing slurred speech. Number 2, how does alcohol use affect the frontal lobe? The answer for the effects of the frontal lobe is the alcohol use can impair a person's ability to think clearly and make a good decision. That's pretty important because we've been talking about good decisions all of our lessons. This may be quite important. How does alcohol use affect the cerebellum? I'll give everyone about 30 seconds. I hope you're done, but if you want to share your answer, go ahead. The answer that is correct is alcohol use can slow down a person's reflexes, causing a loss of balance and coordination. Number 4. How does alcohol affect the brainstem? Alcohol use can slow down a person's breathing, causing them to pass out. That's life or death. Number 5. How does alcohol affect the occipital lobe? Alcohol use can impair a person's ability to see clearly, causing blurred vision. Number 6. How does alcohol affect the hypothalamus? Well, alcohol use can slow down a person's heart rate, causing exhaustion. Those are our 6 questions. I hope you learned something from this activity because the effects of alcohol can be life or death and can be pretty dire on your body. Make sure to take care of your body no matter what, always to make a good and healthy decision. I'm going to give everyone about 3 minutes to create a goal and to tell the class how it would be affected by alcohol. But first, a healthy brain is necessary for your healthy future and your ability to reach your goals. The significant negative effects of alcohol use on brain and body development can interfere with your ability to reach your goals. Look back at work page 25 to the section titled Goal Buster. Describe 2 ways alcohol use could keep you from reaching your goal. Write your answers down in the space provided. For example, if your goal was to learn to play the drums in the next few months, how could drinking alcohol affect your ability to reach the goal? Alcohol would affect my ability to remember the music, it would affect my coordination to play, and to learn. Alcohol use impairs the hippocampus and cerebellum. It would be difficult for you to learn and coordinate your movements. Now, be prepared to share your answers and to complete the activity. I will give everyone about 3 minutes to create a goal and to tell the class how it would be affected by alcohol. Go ahead and take your time. Would anyone like to share their goal and tell us how alcohol use could keep you from reaching your goal? I will give everyone about a minute to share your goals and to have a discussion as a class. Excellent. Understanding the negative effects of alcohol use will help you make healthy decisions. In our next lesson, we will discuss the negative effects of nicotine use and practice peer pressure refusal strategies in situations involving nicotine. I hope everyone learned something today, and I want everyone to make good decisions towards their body and towards your health. I hope everyone, again, has a great weekend. Thank you for learning and taking the time with me today. I'll see you next week.